Zodiac Charlotte Kane was the kind of person who kept everything in its place. A 24-year-old graphic designer in Manhattan, her life was an organized, quiet routine, one that her friends and family depended on. So, when she vanished one cool October night without a trace, it didn't just raise alarms. It caused a ripple of fear across her entire social circle. When Detective Leo Marsden entered her apartment, he found a chilling scene. Her phone was on her nightstand, her laptop open on her desk, with a strange image paused on the screen. And on the wall above her bed was a symbol, a cryptic arrangement of lines, circles, and interlocking triangles, almost like an ancient astrological sign. Leo had seen unusual cases before, but Charlotte's felt different from the start. What would lead a young woman with no apparent enemies to disappear, leaving only a haunting symbol behind? Little did he know that Charlotte's disappearance would unravel a mystery unlike anything he'd ever encountered. A web of secrets spanning decades, connecting victims who had no reason to be connected, and leading to revelations that would put his own life on the line. Detective Marsden studied the symbol on Charlotte's wall, his mind racing. The lines seemed almost deliberate, too precise to be random graffiti or a prank. Charlotte's home was immaculate, everything neatly in place. She didn't seem like the type to leave things unfinished, much less to abandon her own home. The only clue he had was a strange bookmarked website left open on her laptop, a page of blurry symbols, each labeled with a different zodiac sign. As he clicked through, he noticed something even stranger. These symbols matched police records of several cold cases involving missing women, each unsolved for decades. When he met with her friends, they revealed that Charlotte had been working on an art project related to astrology and unsolved mysteries. She had spent hours researching an obscure case from the 1970s, a serial killer who emulated the Zodiac Killer, leaving cryptic messages and strange symbols at crime scenes. Leo's gut told him that these cases, the symbols, and Charlotte's disappearance were linked. A couple of days into the investigation, an anonymous tip arrived at the precinct. The voice on the other end was distorted, but it offered coordinates in Central Park and said only, "Solve it before it's too late." Leo felt a sense of urgency as he and his team headed to the location that night. Under a grove of sycamores, they uncovered a rusted metal box. Inside, Leo found newspaper clippings about a series of murders dating back 50 years, each one marked by a unique astrological symbol. It was clear that Charlotte had found these same records and was on the verge. Tucked inside the box was also a Polaroid photo of Charlotte herself, looking anxious, as if someone had taken it without her knowing. Leo's hands shook slightly as he examined the image. Was it possible that Charlotte was close to unmasking the person responsible for these disappearances and paid the price for it? Leo's nights grew restless as he pored over the contents of the rusted box. The more he read, the more he realized how deliberate each of these past murders had been. Every victim was a young woman in her 20s, each connected by an interest in art, astrology, or puzzles. It was as if someone had selected them for their curiosity, pulling them into a trap they didn't even know was set. He discovered that Charlotte had recently visited a rare bookstore where she had purchased an encrypted notebook, one that listed the names and details of each victim, with coded dates and locations. Charlotte's close friend, Ava, recalled that Charlotte had become obsessed with solving the notebook, certain it held the key to understanding why these women were chosen. One of the last things Charlotte told Eva was, "It's not random. I'm being watched." It sent Leo's search led him to Dr. Eleanor Prescott, a historian specializing in the occult. She took one look at the symbol on Charlotte's wall and turned pale. She explained that the symbol was associated with an ancient society called the Celestial Order, a group rumored to be dedicated to channeling astrological power through ritualistic sacrifice. The order, she said, believed in 12 zodiac brides, young women chosen as vessels for each zodiac sign. Each of these women, Dr. Prescott whispered, represented a sign in the zodiac. Each one was taken and initiated. Dr. Prescott warned him to stop investigating. The order's influence was far-reaching, with roots in academia, law enforcement, and politics. But Leo couldn't let go, especially after he noticed another symbol carved on his apartment door the next morning, Virgo, Charlotte's zodiac sign, and beneath it, another, a scrawled Leo, his own sign, determined to protect other potential victims. Leo placed a cryptic ad in a local astrology magazine, mimicking the symbols from Charlotte's wall and leaving his own phone number at the end. It was a long shot, but if the order was still active, someone might take the bait. To his surprise, he received a call 2 days later from another young woman named Becca, who believed she was being stalked. She had been following Charlotte's case online and felt drawn to the symbols in the news coverage. Leo felt a shiver. Was this the killer's next target? Becca confided in Leo that she had been researching astrology for her graduate thesis. She'd been having disturbing dreams, always ending with her standing under a clear night sky, surrounded by 12 stones. Following Becca's tip, Leo discovered that a nearby abandoned mansion once belonged to a wealthy occultist rumored to have been a founding member of the Celestial Order. Leo and his team approached it cautiously one stormy evening, the place emanating a sense of foreboding. Inside, the mansion was decrepit, dust-laden furniture scattered haphazardly, broken glass crunching underfoot. But in the basement, they found something that made their blood run cold. A chamber with 12 pillars, each marked with a different zodiac, a sign. On the floor was a recent addition, an altar bearing a single black candle and a rose. Hanging from the Virgo pillar was a pendant with Charlotte's initials, and on the altar was a blood-stained notebook with the same symbols and names. It was clear now. Charlotte had been chosen, sacrificed in some twisted zodiac ritual. Leo's heart sank. She hadn't just disappeared. She'd been taken by the order. As Leo inspected the altar, he noticed another freshly carved symbol beside the Virgo pillar. Leo, his own sign, etched in stark relief. Suddenly, he felt the prickle of being watched. He spun around, but no one was there. Panic settled over him. How deep did this order's reach go? Had he been under their watch since he took on the case? Just then, his phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. The message was a single line. If you want the truth, come alone to Westfield Cemetery at midnight. He knew it was a trap, but he had no choice. At midnight, he arrived at the cemetery, his flashlight casting gravestones. In the center, under an old oak, he found another altar and an open journal. The journal was filled with entries from Charlotte herself. In her last message, she detailed everything she had uncovered. They're watching me, but I think I'm close. If I disappear, keep looking. Don't let them erase me. Leo's precinct received a call the next morning about an officer missing in action. His last known location was Westfield Cemetery, where officers found an altar, an open journal, and a single black candle, still burning. Inside the rusted tin box he'd uncovered in Central Park was a new addition, a Polaroid of Leo, staring over his shoulder, eyes wide with horror. As the investigation continued, rumors circulated of strange symbols, appearing on apartment doors throughout Manhattan. A new name would soon join the ranks of those who had vanished under the stars. Another detective drawn into the darkness of the zodiac. And somewhere, in a shadowy corner of the city, the celestial order waited, ready for their next Leo.